Previously in the GodBreaking, a group of heroes finding themselves in the aftermath of an epic battle in which Inkamel, a Tarask and human hybrid, had launched an assault on the capital city of Ospium. And coming to their defense against this horrible, horrific creature and his army of red, scaly lizard men were the 7 elder dragons that you guys had recently come into contact with. And these elder dragons had broken their silence to honor their quest that you made and the bond that you had formed with them. Their 6,000 years they had spent in hiding was broken as they emerged and did war with Inkamel. At the end of that battle, you found yourselves having slain Inkamel alongside the dragons, and were about to destroy his body, incinerate it completely into ash, when a surprise arrival from Malconthet, the demon queen of the succubi, halted your plans. And they are surrounded by her succubi underlings. They kept you preoccupied while she spirited Inkamel's corpse away. And at the same time, the dragon goddess herself, Tiamat, held under the thrall of Asmodeus, the Red God, and forced into servitude of him and, by proxy, of Malconthet, forcibly subdued and dragged away all 7 of the Dragon Lords as she flew off into the sky, hauling these massive creatures behind her. You guys spent all of last adventure, combating the succubi that had a tendency to take over your minds and the minds of people around you. Tired and very much worn down, you finally managed to enlist your allies and purge the remaining succubi from the city. And now, after a long night's rest, in which you awake the next morning in the city of Ospium, the city itself being greatly ravaged and decimated by this onslaught. You guys awaken next morning, having just gone through one of the most exhausting and harrowing ordeals of your lives. Stronger. You've all leveled up to level 20, and we're still working on your abilities, but I think we're getting close to where they should be, and we've got some good ideas for them. What do you guys want to do?
Let's go get that bitch.
What's that? I didn't hear you.
Oh, Damos
Are
wants
you
to get
too
that.
afraid?
No, Damos says, let's get the elder bitch, because I'm the top bitch around here now.
What bitch?
I tell you, only speak when I allow you to speak, because I'm the top bitch around here.
Shut up.
So you guys remember that Nebularos did have some words for you as he was being dragged off into the sky.
So that's right. Let's go search what is the word I'm looking for? We should go to Mistrala and say the names into the
What name?
Special
the dragons. The names the dragons gave us.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. At least so
They gave us names?
Yes, the brothers' names.
I
Yeah,
don't
that'd be a
remember
good
that.
idea.
Really?
So,
You're the
Albert,
one
what do you mean? Do you remember what you're supposed to do? Refresh them.
Oh, you're gonna put me to the test here, aren't you? So talking to him on Mount Jacaris, I believe the name was that you said. He said his brother was the only hope once they revealed themselves, and we promised to help find his brother. He gave us the name of his brother. I don't remember the name, but he told us that he liked small people. Befensdor, that's right. Live among the small people. Those who live near the mountains and underground, aka my people.
Mm.
And then as he was being dragged off, he gave us another name, which hopefully Midas will be kind enough to help me with as well.
It was Obi-Wan.
No,
Barrack, I think.
it was Vork.
Fork. Yeah.
Vork. You said, I actually don't remember exactly what he said, but, I remember the name Vork, so we should go to Mistrala, go to the observation deck, and say these two names into the observation deck.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what he said about Vork.
You just had to find him.
Oh, find Vork.
Yeah.
Start with
he was
Vork,
a-
he said.
Start with Vork. Okay. Well,
Can
Yes.
someone go work?
Yeah, you just did.
Wow.
I think he
Yeah.
also said something about Deimos being the top bitch.
Davis,
Top
you want to
bitch.
put that? Davis, you want to put that theory to the test?
Bring it, girl. Oh wait.
Well, when you
You're
send a
just a
librarian to
weak
another
man.
dimension to become a demon, then talk to me.
That's
What was
literally small time.
All time. That's like, I don't even know who does that stuff. Third
Yeah.
graders.
So small time.
So, this week, this
So
is
I'm gonna
completely off
cast
topic.
dimensional, or
Sorry. I took the liberty of finding pictures for you guys for these
Ooh, I
isometric
love
tokens,
pictures.
right? And granted, I had to go with
my picture, didn't I?
I had to find the best ones I could find online, and there aren't some good pictures for exactly what I'm looking for. But I was looking for full body pictures so you could put them isometric tokens. So
That's sick.
here,
That's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Nice. I like it. So,
if you find better
Good for
full
you,
body
bro.
pictures, let me know, and I can
Oh,
turn
this
them
is-
into the tokens. But
This one's
What
way
was
too
wrong with
good.
the one that I had?
So mine
it wasn't full
mine
body.
was easy. Oh,
Ah,
It was cut off. It was 3/4 cut off.
oh, was it?
No, I'm talking to Euphemia.
Okay. Yeah, I remember when you first showed us Sigma 2, he was already full body, so mine must have been pretty easy.
Yeah, yours was easy. I had to find one for Deimos and for Elwyn. I'm not really happy with, and Euphemia I'm not really happy with. But those were the closest I could find.
that doesn't look like a drow. That looks like someone at a rave.
Looks like not a top bitch.
I can
Do you
darken it.
lift, girl?
Midas, if I text you the picture, could you do it from there? Because I actually do have a picture I would prefer for
Over
next
this
week.
one.
Yeah.
Send me a link
Because-
to it. Send me a URL. If it's online, if you have an actual picture, send it to me, and I'll try to Photoshop it down. If
Okay.
you text it to me, I don't know if the resolution will be there, but we could try it.
Okay. I'll see if I can find it online again.
Sure.
The main reason I ask is because technically this guy's carrying an axe and I carry a sword, so.
Yeah,
And
but we might just have to overlook that. A
yeah,
little bit of lore.
I
difference.
do love the picture, but this one I have is also not half bad. He is a very burly dwarf in this picture.
You should just get a picture of Gimli from the movies.
Axe, not sword.
I don't care. I just love that actor.
True.
Okay. Alright. And Deimos, that was the most muscular woman I could find.
That's a freaking amazing picture. That's what that is.
Okay.
The
What do you guys want to do?
glasses.
Any opposition to Mistrala?
I guess so. I'm gonna go pick up some weights and do some
Could we
curls on the
do
way.
anything like in town? Like,
Oh yes,
like save people?
I would like to go see Leota, because I actually have an idea for my third attunement slot now that I no longer need a belt of giant strength.
Okay. Now remember, I said the town had just fought off a an invasion of leapers. So all around
He
you,
doesn't care.
you look around and there's like chunks of swaths of the town that have just been decimated, torn up. The buildings are in rubble. They're still trying to clean up bodies from all, just ripped up, totally nasty situations. The leapers would go through humans like a hot knife through butter, just ripping through them, with blood and body parts flying everywhere. All around there's corpses of soldiers, and for every leaper that was killed, dozens and dozens of people were killed. You see casualties amongst of all stripes. Some of the orcs that you had enlisted killed. Definitely lots of soldiers, lots of civilians. Lycanthropes are dead as well. You see war mages broken and their bodies shattered and lying all over the place. The leaders of these respective groups, the ancient one of the lycanthropes, you've got Telephos for the mages, and Owain the Brazen and Darius for the human contingent. They all seem, for the most part, okay. Darius is pretty wounded. Telephos is looking very weary and has had a gash over his across his face, and the ancient one is very very much tired. You get the feeling that the exertion that this took, the toll that this took had on his ancient body, might have been the last that he had. This might have been his last gasp, his last hurrah, basically.
Wait, did we even see what he did?
No,
You
I
guys were
never
outside
saw
fighting.
Felix.
He was.
Yeah.
I wish, but it was badass.
In a nutshell, he went full T-Rex mode, not the hybrid version that you fought. Full T-Rex mode, and was holding off a whole corner of the a whole breach, basically, as dozens of leapers were pouring through. He was there fighting them all off.
I don't believe it.
Pixar didn't happen.
Well, you guys were
Nothing
outside
did it.
doing other things.
No,
Didn't say it didn't happen.
man.
Okay,
Just kidding. I will respect it.
so are you gonna go
Big
to try to
and-
find Caliota?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go try to find the captain while they're doing that, because
Okay.
I'm very much more worried about the cat.
Okay. All right, so Albrecht, we'll start with you. Are you heading over to Caliota's shop? Her
Yes. Her general area.
I'll
Caliota's
go with.
Emporium of Arcane Wonder.
Yes.
I'll
If
go
I
with-
see any
Sure.
like heavy lifting that needs to be done, like rubble in the street or people trying to do stuff, I'll help along the way. But
Okay.
I'll head in that
Alright.
direction.
Yeah, you cross over lots of broken down buildings, the both of you, as you head over there. And like I said, bodies and all over the place. People are crying there, but there's there's families that are broken and concerned. You see husbands looking for their wives, wives looking for their children and stuff, all that kind of stuff. But and broken houses and buildings all over. You eventually get to where Caliota's storefront would have been, and you see that the whole front of the building has collapsed. You can tell that there was a battle here, and that a fair number of leapers had encountered this area, and the bones of the structure are okay, but the surface of it, the front facing portion of it, is crumpled in. The roof is broken down. Some of the pillars that were holding up the rooftop have been shattered, and the roof fell down on top of it. So Caliota is there, and you can see about a half dozen men around, also workers, and she's there pointing and giving directions, telling them to instructing them on clearing the rubble. And you hear, as you guys arrive, you hear her pointing out, talking very sternly to these men. Yeah.
I will ask if there's anything I can do to help.
she turns.
Use
She
those
says,
muscles.
Albrecht, says, you can see that my store, my place of business has been destroyed. Says, I have hired these workers to help clear it, but they are sluggardly at best. Just move faster. She says, there are many valuable things inside this building. So there's a lot of rubble, a lot of big stone rubble and stuff in front of from her building that collapsed. She says, I worry that much of my merchandise has been harmed. She says, but fortunately there was no great loss of life here. Some of the leapers did in fact arrive. I was able to fend some of them off, and some creatures of uh, of animal origin were able to come in and intervene as well.
Um,
What does it
I'll
sound?
say
Does someone have a fidget spinner
yes.
or something?
My bad.
We can hear it.
That was me. As I was gonna say, I'll say, well, I think I might be able to this clearing along quite nicely, and essentially I want to go large mode and start picking up giant piles of rubble from the front of the store.
Okay. So you activate your bracers, and was there a keyword that you had to say? I'm trying
Together.
Versus-
Think of a reference right now, but I'm pretty sure there's a smooth. There's one out there, but I just basically smashed my wrists together.
Okay.
Technically, very mad right now while I'm doing this because I have to be enraged, but
Okay. So you activate your bracers, and you enter a rage, and you begin to increase in size. And Caliota, you see her just watching you, no change of expression across her face. But as you get larger and larger, and break the bounds of what a normal enlarged spell would do, her eyes
I'm
widen.
gonna
Which is
inspire.
okay.
I was just gonna say I was gonna inspire her workers.
Okay. Yeah. So between the two of you, with Albrecht helping and Euphemia using her musical magic to aid in the with the workers, the labor goes very quickly. You clear out armloads of boulders and broken down stone, and the workers are helping sift through the smaller parts. And as you lift things up, sometimes like random scrolls or pieces of jewelry or wands will fall out of the rubble, and they'll help pick those up, and Caliota will start categorizing them. Okay, so it takes about a half an hour for you guys to fully clear the storefront, and afterwards Caliota just shakes her head as she looks inside the broken down parts of the building. She says, "Ay ay 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 ay," she says, "such a mess. She says, this will take some time to recover from. But certainly there are locations in the city that have greater need than I. After all, I myself am unharmed. Is there some other reason that you came to this section of the city, Albrecht and Euphemia?"
I will say to her that she is the best magic
Yes, I
item
know.
dealer within this city. I wanted to make sure that she was all right and see if I could get her back up on her feet. And then I did have a request for an item.
Of course
I'm
you
going-
did.
I'm going to wonder why he's talking about her instead of to her, right in front of her face. I don't know.
That's just, okay. This is how I role play. I don't.
So
I'll
Caliota
talk in
pats
third
you on the head,
person.
Albert. She pats you on the head. She says, "Of course you did. Your kind always do. Just tell me what it is. I cannot promise I have much resource or time to devote to it." She looks over her building and she looks around the rest, like just around the street that she's on, and there are buildings all over that are broken, and it's a real mess. She says, "As you can see, but," she says, "your kind is the adventurous types are always in need, so tell me."
I will tell her that basically as a barbarian, my feral instinct, is that the right? No, my danger sense gives me advantage on dexterity saving throws against essentially all spells. I was wondering if she could have had an item that would increase my magic resistance even more by giving me advantage on like immunity to being charmed and such, essentially. But like either advantage resistance or immunity to being charmed.
I'm sure your fidget
That's what
spinner could help with that.
I'm going to put that away because it's
Yeah,
going
we
to
can hear
happen
it.
all night. I increased my mic sensitivity so you guys could hear me better, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work that way.
Okay. So you want something to protect you from being charmed, or at least she says.
basically I had a bad experience with a succubus.
She says, "Haven't we all?" um, she says to you, "Although many of us have had good experiences with succubus, but a story for another time." She says, maybe, give me some time. My inventory is in disarray, and I may have the beginnings of an item that I can work on, but this is obviously a little bit lower on my list of priorities than it normally would be.
You do know, Albert, I do have the ability to give our whole party advantage against charm spells.
Well, if she could give me something that would make me immune charm, that would also be great. So, and if you're unconscious, that doesn't help me. So,
Oh yeah,
uh,
I kind of got fucked over in that last battle.
I will say to her, take all the time you need, and let me know if you need any more help with heavy lifting.
I appreciate it. There's much work to do, but I shall do my best, and when I have time and opportunity, I will give your matter the most attention that I can. Yes. And you, Euphemia, young lady, what can I help you with?
Nothing really. I was just around for the ride.
Oh,
I might have a question for you though.
Of course, I'd be willing to answer as best as I can.
Made a deal with a merchant that I'll try
Yes.
to teach him a spell. So I learned the spell that he
Okay.
wants, but I don't know how to teach him. Because I
If
can't
he-
really smack him until he learns.
If he has
That's
magical
fine.
aptitude, you could give it to him in scroll form, and I do have special learning scrolls. The spell is not consumed upon use, and it's just meant to be a teaching aid and allow him to practice it over time. Perhaps
Can I?
you could
Do I
craft
cast
something like
it
that.
on the spell, or do I cast it on the scroll, or what do I do?
I could give you one as a template, and you could inscribe the scroll yourself.
How do I do that? I'm not an inscriber. I don't know this stuff. I
Yeah.
cast by, voice and song. I'm not with the pen and the quill thing.
Well, do it the best way you know how to activate this spell.
As
So
I said,
she,
I can't hit him over the head until he learns it. That won't work.
So she rummages through some of the scrolls. Unfortunately, her scrolls were close to the front of the shop front. There's the curio that the cabinet that the scrolls were in was broken, but she rummages through them. She says, all disorganized. I cannot find which is which. And you see her flipping through some scrolls. And I believe this one. Yes. This is a low-level spell. But you see how it is written differently. This is a trainer spell scroll. So it's a trainer scroll for magic missile. She shows you how she shows it to you, and you can instantly see how it's basically like a tutorial, a short tutorial on how to activate the magic missile spell. It has the incantations and the somatic elements that are involved, and it teaches what you need to know about the arcane arts for one who's already inclined to understand and learn a new spell. So it's basically like something that you would give to somebody who is arcane inclined but not a wizard, because wizards can learn from just normal spell scrolls. She says, it will take some time, and if he has the magical aptitude to learn it, then you could do this. Another option would be to just enchant a magical item for him to be able to activate and hold the power of the spell that you speak of. Like a ring or an
Uh,
amulet or a wand.
so I'm gonna show her the spell, and I'm gonna cast it
Okay.
and say,
She's,
"Is this something
yeah,
I
go
can
on.
enchant to a item for him? Just give it to him."
She says, I can prepare an item, and I will need you, because for this spell, for example, I do not know myself personally. I will require you to come in and spend some time. You'll have to cast it upon the item multiple times. It takes at least 15 to 20 applications of a spell in order for the item to hold the enchantment. But I can prepare such an
Okay.
item and give it to you, and you can cast it into it over the course of a week or so, and then it should be able to hold the ability.
Okay, that would help.
Okay. She says,
Technically, I probably don't have to go through this much for this guy, but he gave me a deal, so I'm trying to be a good person about it.
ah yes, good business. I understand that certainly. She rummages through her stuff. She says, this, and she pulls out a necklace. Right, a necklace. It's like a necklace, but it has one pendant and not, and it's just a thin gold chain with one golden pendant. This is one of my beginner enchantment items. I start many of my customized works with items such as this. She says, "Give me a few minutes, just 5 minutes, and it should be able to hold the modification that you are asking for."
Okay.
Okay. So she takes 5 minutes and she hands it over to you. She says, for you," and she says, "as you can see, my building is in quite a bit of disarray. I do not even know what the state of my vault is, where I keep my cash stores. Uh, she says, I do not wish to take gold from you right now. I would not have anywhere to put it. Just let's say, perhaps you come repay me sometime in the future when I'm more settled."
No problem.
Just very good. Now, if you will excuse me, I have much work to be done. Hi. And she snaps her fingers and she starts yelling at her workers again. She says, "I saw you over there, just sitting around. This is not your break time." And she starts pointing around and having them do stuff. Okay? So, 15 to 20 applications of the spell into that should do it. Let's shift to the other side of town. Deimos, what were you doing?
Oh, I'm just trying to find the captain. Make
Okay.
sure the captain's okay after the fight.
All right. All right. So you're gonna go over to let's see. So if you are on, you started from where the palace is. The Lycans were fighting mostly on the north side of town, like right over here.
I'm sprinting.
Okay. It takes you a good part of the day of the morning to get to over there, because again, the streets are just devastated and there's people who need help. You stop to heal some people along the way and lift some rubble aside to help people who are trapped underneath it, that kind of thing. So it takes you most of the morning to get across town. When you do, you come across and you seek out the areas where the lycanthropes are. And as I described earlier, you see you learn that the Elder One is feeble and weak. You see several of the lycanthrope leaders around him, and there's wounded and deceased lycans all over the place. But for the most part, a large part of the population had survived. Several hundreds of the lycans are still around, but they've sort of gathered together in a part of town, and they're just licking their wounds and talking about all that's happened. So who would you like to talk to?
I'm going up to Mr. Kingpin himself. I'll go up to him
Okay.
and be like, "Hey, old man, I know you're tired and probably sore, or I don't know. Uh, where's where's the captain?" Where's Captain Patches at? Not Captain
Alright,
Patches,
so,
Captain Boss.
so the ancient one, Tyranno was his name, is reclined. The Lycans have made him, have basically put together a chair or a comfortable, not quite a bed, but it's like a recliner that they pulled out from one of the houses. And he's lying down on it. He's got a blanket draped over him, and several of the Lycans are around him, attending him. He says to you, he looks at you. His eyes are bloodshot. His hands are trembling. He says, Demos,
Hmm.
glorious battle. He says, I heard
Fantastic.
the sound of Inkmel fall.
Yeah, he's
Was
a big old
not
bitch.
a sound I ever thought I would hear. This old man, I know he's at least 1,000 years old. This old man has lived long, and perhaps my time has come to an end.
Nah, you still got this, bro.
He leans over and is coughing. He says, I, I know my body. I know what strength I have, and it is not much. I can feel it slipping from me.
From what I recall, divine magic stuff doesn't work on him, does it?
You can heal them, but looking at him, just roll a let's see, like wisdom or medicine check or something like that.
He looks fine. What's wrong, bro? Why are you on the ground?
I am dying, you fool. You.
Oh,
And he blinks his eyes a little bit. Demos,
oh, yeah.
you
Oh, shit.
you have grown breasts. Why?
Dude, they're hard. Feel them. They're hilarious.
His trembling old hand is like, I do not believe. And he reaches up and he grabs one of your tits, and you can feel a faint troubled squeeze, like a double squeeze.
Like, dude, I play with these things all the time. I'm surprised I actually get anything done.
He says, I understand. He says, thank you for granting a dying man a final wish.
No, not final wish. How about this? I don't know how much this will work, but I got a mass heal. Do you think that would work on you, old man?
He says,
And when I do that, I'll channel it through my titty.
it's just,
Directly in the bloodstream.
he pulls his hand back a little bit as it happens. He's tingles. You see his fingers like, and he just leans over and he can see his body is shaking and shuddering. He leans over and keeps coughing again. You know that your healing magic brings people up to the full capacity of their physical form, like in full health. But his physical form is so far deteriorated that he is right now at his peak condition, and it's just
Okay.
yeah, he's at 100% right now, 100% of almost nothing, because
All right.
he's got nothing left.
I asked this old ass man. I'm like, hey, old ass man, if I could get you, let's say, like a gigantic, I don't know, keg full of potions of longevity, do you think that'd work on you? That'd be hilarious, I say.
I have already lived too long.
No, no, you haven't.
I just wish for one last thing before I die.
Yep.
To know the embrace of
Ah,
a beautiful
yeah.
woman.
Ooh,
Into
I am quite beautiful, but I have to tell you this: if I got down on there, I'd break you apart, and we just don't want that. I couldn't live with that.
this. I am dying anyway.
Ah, shit.
The final wish of an old man.
To get a, you want a bitch? I'll find you a bitch real fast.
I have no time.
Oh, 1 sec. One second. Damos was once an old guy. Damos is gonna insight check this motherfucker. Gosh, dang it. I don't know. He might be telling the truth. It's creepy old man trying to get into my tight, muscular, fit body. Bro, you know I don't go that way.
I am dying.
I know. It's gonna suck. How about this? You tell me where Captain Fluffy Paws is, and then, yeah, I'm still not gonna do it, but I'll find someone for you. I will find you twins. Big,
It will be.
bosom Asian twins.
He says, "Hurry, please."
All right,
And he points
divine
off to the direction.
intervention.
Hold on, when was the last time you... I was gonna say, when was the last time you cast that?
I don't actually know.
We're keeping track now.
Yep.
So he points off. He says, "Nina, over there," and he points at a building that is completely collapsed. Last I saw her, in battle.
Damos will start sprinting this way.
Okay. So you rush off, and the agent and the ancient one just kind of like rolls over slightly and just rests his head back down onto the cot. You rush into the building. You burst through the broken down doorway. The building is collapsed and in tatters. And we need you to roll me a d20. Okay. Underneath some of the timbers, and I mean you're searching. You're basically tearing the house apart. It takes you a couple minutes to pick up like the beams and the structures and stuff that have fallen. You do find, after a few minutes of searching, an unconscious cat body lying there with a broken dwarf body that you can tell was
Don't
a
you
looper.
dare, Midas. No.
A broken dwarf body that had been a leaper,
How
and
many
she's
spell
the
slots
cat
do
is
I
underneath
have?
the dwarf body right now.
I ripped that dwarf body in half, and I just started literally nuking the living shit with all my healing spell slots into this cat. Just everything. Gosh, damn it. Here, hold on a second. This will take a second. I gotta click a lot of spell burning slots as I'm bringing the cat back. She's alive, right?
Yeah, you should probably check for
Don't-
a pulse.
Don't
first.
you do this to
Are
me.
you-
Don't you do this to Damos.
Check for the pulse.
All right. So go ahead and roll me 3 wisdom checks in a row.
You're a cleric.
You pick up the body and you start just surging magic energy into just radiant energy, just blast, just like it's like it's a very small cat body, but you're full on like you're turning the defibrillator all the way up to like level 11, and just pumping this body full of radiant energy, and after 3 spells go by, her eyes just spring open and her hair just like flies up, all standing up straight, and she just leaps up, her tail standing straight up in the air, and her body completely rigid and stiff, right? Just
Not
completely
enough. Still
freaked out.
blasting. Still blasting.
Right, and she
Feeling
jumps up and she lands like 2 feet in front of you, and she's just at this wild, crazy look in front of you. She's just completely wired, like she's been electrified, and she's just like trembling and just like shaking, and she it takes her a second to shake it off, and she looks up at you, she sniffs a little bit, her eyes go wide, and she goes,
Hey,
and starts backing away from you.
Captain, it's me, Damos. Euphemia did this to me. And you know Euphemia would do this in a heartbeat. Captain, you would gosh damn know this shit. Dad. Nina, get you. Oh, God. Yeah. I start flexing in my normal flexing poses and do my stupid shit. I'm still carrying the cat thing, like the cat harness on my chest still.
Show her the cat harness.
It's still there.
You hear, you hear a voice from behind you say, "You idiot! She knows it's you."
Yeah, but she
Um,
isn't.
and you turn around and you see, where's my picture?
Oh, he better not say something sarcastic, because Demos is on the edge, and I'll break his neck. I'm just joking. I won't actually do that.
All right, so it's this guy, the Corbin, the he's there, in humanoid form. So he's just a big hairy guy. He says, "You idiot! She knows it's you. She knows who you are. You just, when you change forms, your scent changes."
Yeah, it's not my fault.
He smells you and he says, "You do smell different."
Yeah, feel these titties.
"Don't mind if I do."
I flex. I flex. I'm like, aren't they? You think they're gonna be soft? Jokes
As
on you.
as this hairy guy reaches over and cups you, you see the captain just she screeches a little bit and she jumps up and she runs out a window.
No. Oh,
She doesn't. She knows it's you. She just doesn't like it.
I don't like it either. But I can bench 780 pounds with these gigantic chest pieces.
He's still squeezing. He says, "I kind of like it."
Oh, bro. Me
Demos.
too.
He says,
Dude, check this out. I step back and I start firing fireworks. Like, all right, I gotta get back to the captain.
he says, "If only you were a bear." He says,
Dude, if I was a real chick bear, I'd rock your world. Just joking, I don't swing that way. And I'm just out.
"Okay." All right. The cat has run away. You're not exactly sure where she went.
I'm gonna hold some person ransom, and I'm gonna kill a person every 5 minutes until she comes out. I'm just joking. All right, so
Okay.
Damos doesn't even care about this anymore. He's just gonna find ways to come back to be a dude just for the cat. So this world can go die and burn to shit. I'll figure this out.
Okay.
But as long as
Ellen,
I
was there
know-
anything you wanted to do?
Grab those titties too. No,
Oh, do it. Trust me.
No, he's got a girlfriend.
no, I'm just hanging out.
Okay. All right. So that's how you guys spend most of the day. And granted, there's a lot of stuff going on in the city, and there's other things happening. But later into the afternoon, you guys kind of finally reconvene around dinner time, let's say, and they've brought out big food feeding. They've opened up large refuge feeding places for people to come in, and large open air kitchens. Let's say. So that's what the city officials have done. You guys find yourselves at one of them talking with each other and with some of the officials in town, and it seems like the city is making its way. They've begun to take good strides towards repairing the damage. Fortunately, the number of lives lost was in the tens of thousands, maybe even upper tens of thousands, but it wasn't the whole population by any means. Hundreds of thousands of people are still alive and are very grateful for it. There's lots of stories going around about the dragons. That's all anyone can seem to talk about is the dragons, and the fire, and the people all saw the dragons being dragged off into the sky. And there's a lot of people not sure what it means. Many people are more scared of of what's to come, but others are reminding them about the Tarask. And so there's just lots of confusion going around. But that's the state of Ospium. What do you guys want to do next, as you are eating dinner together?
Held up. I'm gonna ask Deimos how his day was.
Oh, all right. Really moody.
All right.
Yeah, let's go get these guys. want to get Cray Cray out of here. Don't you fucking incite me. Oh. Oh, you janky motherfucker.
Okay.
I will say, essentially, I think, another good night's rest will not hurt anybody, and then tomorrow we can head to Mistrala.
I can see that.
Oh, I did stop at that vendor's guy to see if he was still alive.
Roll a d20.
If you feed me, get a free belt of fire giant strength.
It's a question: do I want low or do I want high? I want to know.
His whole place had been destroyed. There were bodies everywhere. This was one of the main points of attack, that the Leapers had burst in through this place,
Wasn't
and it was
his place the big
yes,
the
the big armory
marketplace?
area.
So the whole area is destroyed.
Much of it, yeah. That's where a lot of Leapers had focused. It's near one of the entry points of where the breaks in the wall. So, hundreds of Leapers streamed through here and slaughtered everything in their paths. There's a site of one of the major battles of the city. This whole area.
So is he anywhere?
You are unable to find him. You ask around about Selexar, and people say that they last saw him charging into battle with a helmed and in magical armor and holding these magical weapons, along with dozens of others equally garbed of the other merchants and basically people who had taken up arms along with the soldiers.
People that are lower than level 1, wearing
Yep.
the best stuff in the game.
Yep, and basically gotten swallowed up by the Leapers. So they haven't been able to find him or anything like that, but they say that odds are not good because all those people have not come back.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm still going to use all of my spells that night to try to enchant that item, just in case.
Okay. Burning all your spell slots into it, you figure that you've got it most of the way done, actually. I think you figure
So
a few more
that'd be all
spells.
my level 1s. No, wait, it's a level 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right?
Yeah. You say it actually is taking to it pretty well. You figure just a little bit more, and you should be able to get it to stick.
Oh, 12 spell slots.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
As you guys rest for the night, you take refuge, or you hole up in the very nice apartments that they've given to you within the castle. And the next morning, the city is just one day further into the reparation efforts. But at this point, the war mages have all gathered up, and they tell you that they're getting ready to head back to Mistrala.
Do you mind if we catch a ride? How much gas?
We are planning to head back to Mistrala. There is more work to be done, and we've lost a number of our people, she says. Last count was almost 200 of our students and faculty in this battle, she says. But it was successful. We were victorious, and we are glad for it. Although, it doesn't seem our wall held up very long, did it?
Good
Yeah,
test.
Who would have thought that the power of the Tarask was so incredible? But things turned out as best as they could, I suppose. Who knows what will happen next? But we are heading back to Mistrala. Would you like to come with us?
Sure.
Okay. Well, gather your things and make your preparations. We'll be leaving from the courtyard. She says, Telephone says in 15 minutes. Okay. And then she's
I
off
kind
to...
of
Go on.
pat my body and look on. And I give her the thumbs up, signifying I already have all my stuff on me.
She smiles. She says, well, we'll be waiting there. And she heads out to the courtyard. Alright. Minutes later, you guys join up with the rest of the mages of Mistrala, and you are teleported back through the magical barricade that prevents teleportation in. And you head back to the Silver Spire. Okay. This place was, as you saw it last, the hustle and bustle in the streets, the weird creatures all over the place, everything from fairies to living plant life to minotaurs and all these odd creatures all over around this town. What are you guys doing?
I'm going to go straight for the observation deck.
Okay. You head up there, and you find your friendly half-elf older gentleman. Say, "Good day to you. You know that you are probably some of our most frequent customers, or at least users of this observation deck. And I can't say that I dislike it. I see some of the most incredible things when you come to town."
And say some of the most incredible things.
Yes, incredible indeed. What do you want here? Do you have another name of some hideous, monstrous, millennia-old creature that you wish for me to summon up visuals of?
Yeah, Jim.
No.
No, really. Well, I must tell you that the more popular usage of our facilities, I can rent you out a corner cubicle over there, and sometimes people ask to view salacious things. Perhaps individuals you wish to spy upon. And
we are good for that as well. We are looking for a dragon, in fact.
of course you are.
Whisper to Deimos. Go use the bathroom.
Of course you are. You've searched for dragons here before. Come. Who are you searching for?
The first name I'm gonna say, just because a shot in the dark and it might be helpful, is Befinzor. Befinzor.
He says Finzor. Not a name I am familiar with, but I shall do as you ask. He activates the runes, and you can see the powerful incantations that are underlying the surface of this incredible room, this incredible masterpiece of arcane ingenuity go into action as they light up and they surge all throughout the room. The visual on the walls begin to shift and buckle slightly, as if they're searching. And he says, about 30 seconds go by. He says, "It seems that we are unable to find anyone of this particular name. Do you perhaps have another identity or alias, or perhaps does this person exist?"
This person definitely exists. Honestly, it was a shot in the dark. I just wanted to see you.
Yes. If this person does exist, then the only reason that we would not be able to find him is if, one, he were dead, and long dead, or we're under the protection of a god, so that he would not be visible, or if he just He's baffled. He says, I don't know. There's not much reason that he would not be able to be found.
Would a creature that is powerful enough, as powerful as a god, be able to put spells? That'd be pretty simple as well, right?
It requires a magic far different from arcane magic. You saw it when the marked ones were able to interfere with our imagery. But even then, they were not able to completely stall the viewing power of this deck. They were only able to redirect it slightly, to alter our understanding of where they were. But we were still able to view them, and those were the marked ones who wielded wild divine magic from an eon past. He says, but I've never seen the observation deck results in no come up with no results at all. He says, in fact, he says, he looks around. He says, I've never seen this before.
Interesting. I do have another name that
Yes.
helpful in our quest for locating Bfinzor, of Vork.
Vork. Okay, very well. He says, when it comes to individuals of which there may be many of that name in the world, do you know anything more about him?
Find him.
Oh, very well. He goes to the mechanism and he begins to he says Volk, and all throughout the room you see different images pop up around. You figure a couple to hundred different individuals in various places and various occupations all around the world, really. And there you have it. All the individuals in this world are named Volk.
Can you narrow the search down to dwarves, just out of pure curiosity?
Volk the dwarf. He does that. He says there seem to be two, and two individuals pop up on the screen. One of them being a very old man, just in the hills of Cragland somewhere, in a small village. You see him grinding at a millstone, grinding up some wheat, and the other one being a newborn baby, actually in the town in Ospium, where you resettled the dwarves at.
And which one of them has a character sheet? What? That's a good question.
Interesting. I assume this amazing device can only find people based off descriptions, not based off what they may or may not know, right?
So it depends. A lot of it has little to do with the name. Although the name does have power, it has to do with the imagery and the mind of the one asking. So if you were to set in place different requirements in your mind, and you asked for the name again, the results.
Okay, Midas, you're cutting out real bad, and I lost half of what you said.
I think it's you because
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
hear
heard
him
that.
okay.
Okay, it's me. Let me reload this.
While he's reloading, do the rest of you guys want to try anything?
I think of. Do I think Vork's a dragon?
A dragon, he says.
Yeah, I think
Let
if
me
I'm
try
thinking of a
this.
dragon, this should be a lot easier.
Walk. Oh, then he begins to touch the runes and rework them a little bit. And he looks at you, Deimos, and he looks at you again. He says, "You look different from last I saw you."
Yeah, Euphemia wanted to curse me because I don't know why, honestly. But
You've
I got some
grown
hard ass
tired
titties.
of the balls, I see.
Oh no, no, no.
Gone
Nah,
in the way
Prefers
of
to
the
fondle them.
tits,
I can
I see.
I can work like different muscle masses out with this way. No big deal.
Uh, no, there's no affinity for balls or dick anymore, I see.
I'll probably
Just
get it
other
back
people's.
eventually.
You see him just like disapproving underneath his breath, in his eyes. He shakes his head slightly.
I'll get them back one day.
He says, "Ah, there is no dragon, but there is a dragonborn of the name Vork, a single individual. Here."
Yeah.
And you guys see, and he loads up on the screen, and you see a blue dragon, dragonborn, large, rugged individual clad in leather with a great big scimitar heaving over his shoulder, a mean look in his eyes with black flowing hair off his head. And you see him like in the middle of mid swing almost of this giant scimitar, and he's slashing at this other very large, like it looks like even a Goliath, and they're like in mid battle, and he's totally getting his way. Like and the big slash just rips through this large Goliath's like great club, just splitting it in half, and the next slash goes across the other way and opens up the Goliath from his sternum down to his side, and the blood flowing everywhere, and you can see him just raging and laughing.
Oh, where
this
is
this character Vork. He says, this seems to be northern Osnesh, northwestern Osnesh. He punches a couple more buttons and he brings up a map.
Actually, are Goliaths, are they like part god?
No, they're just a
No,
race.
okay. You're right. Sorry, I got
Somewhere in this
confused with something else.
vicinity up here. He said, "Oh my!" And at this point, you see Vork on top of the Goliath now, just stabbing his scimitar pointed downwards and double-handed stabbing, just down, up and down into the Goliath's face and neck. His blood is flying everywhere, and you see him like cackling, like Vork has a triumphant laugh and snarl on his face.
I'm just stroking my beard there, contemplating, admiring the fighting form, but still contemplating. To our half-elf friend, could you pull up the giant map of Vorks again?
Giant map of what?
Vorks.
This map?
No, just like I'm telling the half-elf guy, I want to see all the Vorks again.
Oh, okay, yeah. And he says, "Well, here," and again another about, almost 200 faces across the screen.
And can he give me a breakdown of, I don't know, locations and races?
So you can count for yourself. He points.
Okay.
It seems to be pretty popular amongst the humankind. There's one dragonborn, 2 dwarfs, no elves, quite a few goblins, quite a few humans, a couple dozen orcs.
Okay. And you said pretty spread out over the whole world?
Yeah.
Any like where you wouldn't expect to find somebody?
Oh my! And he looks. He touches a button again, and it zooms back in on the dragonborn, and you see him at this point, cutting off the Goliath's scalp, basically, with a wicked looking knife, just pulling it off the Goliath's head, just like slapping against his leg a little bit to clear some of like the brain and blood matter off of it, and he just clips it onto his belt. Along with several others. He looks around, and he picks up his pack, and he starts walking again.
I'll ask my question again. Were there any like particularly interesting locations, like where you wouldn't expect a person to be, like Nortan or northeast quarters of Sindalar, etc.?
He says, "Oh, many of these are in populated locations or known refugee camps, or up there in Osnesh is about as odd as it gets. The Craglands, that's a town." He says, "Not really able to determine that from such a cursory glance, really."
Okay, no problem. I was just curious. I'm just doing some information gathering.
Okay. Well, if there's anything else, I would happy to be of service. But you have been going on for quite a while.
I think, as strange as this might sound, this might be time to visit Tycho.
Okay.
Because I still want to whisper the name of Finzor next to him and see what happens. Still my primary theory.
Okay. So you're gonna go visit Tycho. So you head out to
I'm
the
gonna go
astronomy
visit
department.
Tycho.
You head out to the astronomy department, and you see him gazing through a telescope, a telescope that's aimed off into the direction of the where the moon will be once the sun finishes setting. And as you enter the room, you see him there, and you see a bunch of students around him, and he's there just pointing things out, and the students are just watching and taking notes down. You hear him half humming every time he goes back to his telescope. And as you're walking in behind him, he says, "Albrecht." Yes. He hasn't even looked at you yet. He says, "Knew you were coming. I knew I did. Yes. Come to ask me something exciting, I think."
I feel like Obi-Wan with Yoda right now. Have indeed. I am looking for a person, and I have a couple of names that might help me find them. I tried the observation deck, but it was almost useless. You may be able to help.
Useless, yes. Of course. What names? What you looking for, Albert?
The first name that I was given was Befinzor.
Befinzor. Yes. Who's Befinzor?
Befinzor is the 8 of the 7 dragon rulers.
Never heard of it.
He was the brother.
I know of the Dragon Lords, the monarchs of dragonkind, Nebularos,
He's the brother to
Tenebor,
Nebularos.
Cricketard, Yes. Never heard Befinzor. Not in any writings, not in any books. He said, "I've read books, lots of books." Ah! And he looks up in the sky as a comet streaks across. He says, "Ah, surprising!" He goes back to his telescope.
Can I ask you one more name?
Of course, name, yes. Name.
In relation to dragons.
Vork? Vork, you say? Scratches his beard, scratches his chin. Why are you such a... he says, "Vork, not name I know." He says, "What? You search for the dragons? You search for this 8 of 7, you say? Would be one of great importance. But the 7 were not in power for thousands and thousands of years. Yes. Would be one who knows much about dragons. Would be one who delves deep into history, or maybe..." He trails off. Don't know him.
I will thank him greatly. Ask him if I can take a puff of that first read before I go, and I'll be off if he lets me. Or I'll be off whether he lets me or not.
He says, no! And he slaps you in the face.
Oh, he's not sharing this time.
No, he's not.
Walk
As you
back.
begin walking, yeah, as you walk out the door, he stops for a second. He says, one thing. Just one. He says, would maybe know of, he says, no knowledge now of dragonkind from eon past. He says, but dragons carry knowledge in their blood, carry deep instincts.
Mm-mm.
Search for dragons. You should talk to dragons.
Hey, Elwyn.
Mm-hmm.
I got this thing
Goes
in
back
this
to his
closet
thing.
over here. This janitor's closet where no one can see anything.
What?
I got this. Don't worry about this knife. I don't want blood or anything. Joking.
That means we're gonna have to go back to our dragonborn buddies.
Well, go meet this Vork guy. Maybe we can get stuff off his blood because he seems like a pretty fucking strong mother trucker.
Oh, you mean the dragonborn fork?
Yeah.
I
he'd have-
want to do a bit more research around Mastrala, check out the library, talk to the history teacher. Another idea that I think would be kind of fun just to do, even if you guys don't think it's a good idea, because it'll be a cool intertwine to past characters.
What's that?
Go find Kildrak and see if Archimedes knew anything. Because Archimedes was friend of dragons.
Try to find Kildrak. Alright. How are you going to try to find Kildrak?
Observation deck. Uber.
Okay. Alright. So you ask for Kildrak. And,
that's not what I want to do right now. I say that's a plan
Okay.
I have if I don't find anything else. But so you can
Okay.
prep that.
Alright, so Albrecht is going to go off and start searching. I'm going to the
I wanna go
history
find the-
department and ask around.
And maybe the library.
So while you're doing that, the rest of you guys, Elwyn, Deimos, Euphemia, do you want to try anything?
For like 15 more minutes, I'm along for the ride. I'm listening, but I'm writing my report.
Okay.
That means he's with me.
Euphemia or Deimos, you want to try anything?
No, I mean, Damos is pretty much set on this Vork guy because he seems like he's good at fighting things, and Damos is quite intrigued.
You should go hit the gym up then, so you're prepped for a fight when you get there.
What do you think I am doing, bro?
Luckily, I thought I'd just ask.
I'm just doing my laterals right now. No big deal.
Okay.
I'm checking out some.
I want to go see how I want to go see how many pants see how many pants you can drop in the gym. Start bench pressing with those tits.
They don't have enough weights for me. Like the bar literally just
School of
breaks.
Wizardry.
You guys better
Okay.
you guys get some +3 bench bars because I'm gonna break this shit.
Plus
Alright.
3 bench bars.
Euphemia, was there anything you wanted to try?
Not really.
Okay. Albrecht, you going through the history departments and libraries and stuff, there's really not much else you can come up with. Vork is a random name, just like, Joe or Jim or something like that. It's just a name. Yeah.
Okay, then I plan B. I want to go ask Archimedes, just mainly because I think it's a cool tie-in to a past character, aka my character.
Okay. You visualize him. You go to the observation deck and you ask for Kildrak, and you see him in that same small town over the same anvil, hammering on. It might even be the same piece of steel.
Does it seem like the exact same as it did with the like I'm viewing the exact same image?
No, no. The season has changed. The setting is definitely different. Kildrak is he's a little bit more muscular. He's weathered a little bit more. He's definitely been doing this for a while, but he's still at the same
Okay.
anvil, working on the same piece of
Anvil.
steel.
I will ask Lynn or one of the students for an Uber ride there, and then for them to wait
Okay.
around. Whatever party
look at
members
this-
want
this
to
ain't-
join.
The best they can gather where this is, he says, "Oh," the half elf says to you. He goes, "This location seems to be across the wasteland, on the other side of the wasteland." "Yes, we could try. It's far away. None of us have ever been there before."
Well, that's why I was thinking maybe Elwyn could do it since he has a familiarity with Kildrak.
Could try.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I don't know how much
Alright.
it increases his odds by.
You are going to have to roll for it. If you
Okay.
guys want to teleport.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Hey, Elwyn, we're level 20. I don't care where the hell we end up. Let's do this.
Okay.
Don't you say that. I don't want to end up in Hades.
Hey, Asmodeus
That'd be
isn't there
awesome.
right now. It should be fine.
Let's break the shit out of us.
Alright,
Oh.
Ellen, roll a d100.
Deimos wants to go to Hades and bang his daughter just to be like, take that, bastard.
Yeah, not bad.
Alright. You find it. You guys teleport across the Eurobian wastelands, the wastelands of Eurobia, which is basically, you're heading to, like, you know, if you're in, let's see, you know, if you're in like England, you know, you're heading off to like India, you know, or you know, it's like a continent and a half away, basically. So it's thousands and thousands and thousands of miles. I mean, you're all the way across the world. You teleport
I
over
think we
there,
all-
and you, what?
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I think we only had a 25% chance of getting there if it was just a description or viewed ones.
Yeah, you did. You arrive and you zap down into this town, and it's a small mining town. It's built into some black, some these odd black hills that are, you know, they seem to be heavily populated with ore, very ore dense, iron dense ore. And you hear the clanging of an anvil. And you look around and you see people around you, mostly non-humans. So you see some orcs, you see some goblins, you see some dark dwarves, some duergar, and various other species, and they are looking at you oddly as you arrive. You're tall. You guys are taller than most of the other ones around there. Even the orcs seem to be a little bit more hunched over and shorter. And as you guys arrive, you immediately gain some suspicious views. But this is not a war town. It's a mining town, so no one is really interfering with you. You figure there's about 200 or 300 population-wise in this town.
Is there like a lot of clanging from multiple smiths, or am I hearing like singular clanging and I can
There's
No, that's
there's-
Kildrak.
It's all over the place. All over the place. There's some anvils and smiths everywhere. This is a mining town, but it doesn't take you long. I mean, just based on the description that and that you visually saw him, You're able to work your way around. No one here speaks your language. Does anyone here speak Orcish or Goblin?
I do, in fact, I believe. I speak Gnomish, never mind, and Giant.
Okay, so no one understands anything that they're saying.
Thought I picked those ones up. I picked up Giant and Gnomish.
So it takes you a little longer than you would have thought to find him, but you're talking the order of like 20 or 30 minutes to finally come across the shop that he's working in. And it's kind of a small back hole shop, and the elderly kind of like goblinish, half goblin, half orc creature in the front looks at you and just slinks away, and just like slips out the back door as you guys enter in. So he doesn't even want to deal with you. And in the back, you just hear the hammering on an anvil.
I'm gonna head out back. I
Okay.
entered the shop unless I thought it was the one Killjack was working at.
Okay. Yeah. As you round the corner, you immediately recognize the room that he's in. It's a fairly small smithing area. Some crude tools and stuff all along the side, all very dark, covered in soot. And there, hanging over an anvil, is a muscular but smaller than you dwarf with a dark black beard, and he's not he's wearing just like a very ratty cotton shirt and leatherish pants, and he's just slamming on this anvil. And in his hand, you see a glistening, very fine sword.
I will speak up in Dwarvish and say to him, well, it has been a long time, you, as I stand there waiting for him to notice me.
He stops his hammering. He takes in a deep breath, and he puts his hammer down. He sets it on the anvil. As he takes his hands off the items, you can see his hands just kind of shaking a little bit. They've been holding the hammer and the sword for so long that it's like his hands have like almost locked into place around them, and he has a hard time letting them go. You see his hands shaking a little bit as they finally drop from his hands, and he begins to like rub his hands together a little bit, trying to work out the tension. He turns around and he looks at you. He goes, "Albrecht, you've come all the way out here to visit me." He's rubbing his hands. He goes, "You seem to have grown in the time I last saw you."
I'll say to him, you definitely have not shrunk yourself either, friend. As I'll walk up to him and I'll give him a hug.
He returns the embrace. You can see he's a little bit detached. His mind is elsewhere. He says, "My apologies. I have been thinking of many things, just completely focused upon my craft here. So I know nothing of what's happening in the world, or have I hardly even spoken to anyone in at least a year. What have you come for?"
I tell him that, well, we came for information about dragons, and since you were most closely associated with Modron in his last, what was the term you used for what he was when he was the dwarf we found in the cave?
What, when he was in exile or hiding? Or something?
Yeah, but you said he had taken the form of an avatar, but you didn't call it an avatar. What was it?
Oh, he has an aspect. Yeah.
In his last aspect, and you even got a gift from him in the form of Archimedes. We thought you might be able to help us in some way or fashion.
He laughs. He says, "Friend, I've been doing nothing these past months. Except this, what you see here. I know nothing of what's going on in the outside world. He says, I do know this sword, though. Been working on it. But dragons, he says, I know less about dragons than you do. Oh, last time I saw a dragon was in that temple underground, and those fiery bitches popped up. He says, but he says, Archimedes, he led me out here, led me here. Got here very quickly. I don't even know how I got here, and set me to work. He put something. Modron spoke to me briefly in my mind, gave me an image, the image of the perfect sword, and it's just been everything I can think of since then. Been trying to craft it, trying everything I could to make it. He says, I'm nowhere near close. He says, I've been working on this sword, this particular sword here, ever since I got here. But I know what it will look like. I'm just trying to figure out how to get there.
I say to him, and I'm sure you will, friend, your skills. And then I'm going to ask him, so can I ask Archimedes a question? Does he speak, or?
Archimedes, he says, I had not seen him for ever since he brought me here. Just took off, he did. Mentioned something about some great task he had to accomplish, guiding an old friend to the heavens, he said.
Ah.
Or to the world after, something like that, I don't know. I just been thinking about this fucking sword, you know?
I get it, man, I get it.
Albrecht, you don't understand. He says, the perfect sword. I'm going to make it.
I'll say to him,
Yeah.
no doubt that you will, but do you think you could drink so I can catch you up with the news of the outside world? Because I do have some good news for you.
He says, I suppose it's time for a bit of a break. I normally only sit for a few minutes to take some water and some bread. He says, if you can fit it in for these moments, he says, I must get back to my craft. This work I'm doing, he says, it's important. I don't know why, I don't know how. But this sword I'm making, he says, it's important. I know that. And I cannot give up even just... I must... Any spare moment I have must go towards creating this sword. So he heads over to his cupboard and he pulls out some bread and some water. He breaks it in half. He hands it to you real quickly and just starts biting into the bread right away. You can tell he's singularly focused. He's barely even half listening to you. His mind is absolutely transfixed on the task that he's been working on.
But does he seem relatively healthy otherwise? I don't want him to be starving himself.
No, yeah, he absolutely is. He's very healthy.
And basically, the only thing I want to tell him is that we did kill Inkamel, because Inkamel killed Modron, and I want to let him know that he's dead. But,
that little bit of knowledge breaks through. He pauses his biting just for a second. He says, "Aye, good thing you did." And he goes back to eating it, and by this time the bread is almost done. He swigs down his whole mug of water, and he says, "Now, I must get back to me work. This sword here, he says, it's a wonder. I must get it done. Albrecht, you're doing your work as well. I know you'll find what you're looking for. It is not my task to help you at this time. I'm on my own path. And this here sword, this is important. I don't know why, but I know it is. So if you'll excuse me."
I'll give him a nod and as grasp him by the forearm, and I'm going to look him straight in the eyes to try to get one more thing through his kind of half-sense hearing, and I want to say to him, this task, Modron could have not chosen anybody more worthy to do this. This is what you will be remembered for. And then I'll give give his forearm a firm grasp and take my leave.
He returns the grasp fully, and for the first time, you feel the full weight of his grip. And you're a strong person too, but it's equaling yours. His arm, his forearm, and his hand is like iron, just wrapped around, grasping your forearm. And you're putting, you grasp it as tight as you can, just very, very firmly. And like I said, there's no strength lost here. If anything, he's stronger. His eyes are keen, and he looks up into your eyes. He says, "Aye, it is Albrecht. That I know." And then his grasp loosens, and he goes back and he picks up the sword with it, and his other hand goes to the hammer.
I'm also gonna. I should have said this before the goodbye, but I just thought of it. I'll leave him a sending stone, and if Archimedes does come back, he can shoot me a call.
He's not even listening. His hammer is beginning to fall on the anvil again. You leave the sending stone on like the counter or on the tabletop, and he's back into his rhythm, hammering on the sword.
Okay, sounds good. Otherwise, I'm gonna Uber it back to Mistrala and tell Deimos I found a brand new workout plan.
Okay. All right. Back in Mistrala, you guys have all gathered up. But by this time, it's nighttime. You've used up most of the day doing this. What do you guys want to do?
I got nothing. Anyone else got any ideas? I've exhausted my resources, my thinking power.
Time to go see that dragon that was kicking ass. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, Fork, the ass-kicking dragon.
Okay. Is that what you want to do?
Any others?
And so I just got back. I had to submit a big freaking thing. I don't know what's going on. There's
I
a
hope your
blacksmith.
toilet's okay.
Deimos, I found a new workout regime.
What?
Sword for a year straight. It'll do wonders.
Oh shit, that's a good idea. I know these things I wrapped around my hands for the past couple of years. They've been getting stronger the more I've punched people.
I think it's the same principle.
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
Like you say he was stronger than me, but I'm still like physically bigger than he is, right? Like taller.
You're bigger than he is. I'm not saying he was stronger than you, but like,
Yeah.
you grabbed his hand, and it felt like the grasp of like, yeah, he was not weaker than you. I'll put it that way.
For sure. I mean, a hammer and a sword for a year straight will do that with you. Do that to you.
Okay.
I wish I did speak Goblin so I could threaten that little store owner to make sure no one disturbs him or something like that.
All right.
So who's
So,
the blacksmith?
So I went to visit Kildrak.
Oh, that was Kildrak? I'll make Kildrak
Yeah.
have my city.
I went to visit him, and he, I don't think he would have. He was focused on that sword.
Yeah,
Basically,
he was focused on that sword. But he hasn't seen titties like this for at least a year.
At least. But, he's doing good. He's got his task from Modron. That's going to be one hell of a sword when it's done.
Yeah.
But
pretty much.
otherwise, did it look like a great sword? Just out of pure curiosity.
Yes.
Or it look
Okay,
like
I'll
sweet dagger.
have to check that out in a year. See how he's progressed then. But basically, our plan is to go find Fork, the Dragonborn. because Archimedes left, and that was the whole reason for going there. But
You guys saw Archimedes at the top of the Silver Spire. Remember that?
we did.
Yeah.
He was
He
escorting
ushered
Kelly.
Mistra back. No, Mistra.
They become Mistra.
So Akelia had taken the place, taken the mantle, taken basically Mistra's portfolio or over. But Mistra herself, she was the young elven girl
Oh,
who had wandered the astral plane and Modron had been tasked by the gods, by the other gods, by the greater gods, to find her, and he crafted Archimedes to go out into the astral plane and lead her back. So when she died, her spirit, Archimedes, reunited with her and led her on into the world after.
so do we think that he'll ever go back to Kildrak? Like that was the whole reason he kind of left.
You're not sure. You can sense that he's a little bit more than a mechanical owl. He's more like a spirit guide.
Oh, okay.
He had set Kildrak onto his task, and then he had gone off to do another thing. If Kildrak or someone that Archimedes is inclined to needs guidance in the future, he might show up again.
Oh, okay. So he's not like. If he was there, I probably wouldn't have been able to get an answer out of him, anyways.
You don't know.
Like, is he sentient / intelligent?
You don't know, actually.
Okay.
All right. What are you guys doing?
Then go and see Vork.
Yeah. Either that
You
or
going now?
I want to resurrect like a dead god and just like see what's on the other side. Damos is curious now.
Oh.
I guess we can go to Vork though, but Damos still wants to figure this out.
Deimos, you want to wrestle him or shall I?
Dude. I got this. Holy shit.
Where's that?
This spell's totally gonna work. Oh please. What cage fight? What spell level should
Oh.
I use that at?
Cage fight.
Oh shit, this is gonna be awesome.
It's not too high of a level. I mean, it depends on how strong that cage is. I don't think it's going to be super strong. You're not going to be catching any
No.
gods in the cage. But you know,
No.
it sounds like a level 5 spell or level 6 spell.
Done and done. All right. I say, hey, Kildrak. I mean, sorry, say Albric. You ever watch MMA?
Yes.
Dude, I have that spell. I can make that cage. We can wrestle him all day long.
I like it. I like it.
All right. Ooh,
And then you
session
can
number
keep,
1 with this.
Then you can keep putting hit points back into him so we can keep knocking him out.
Oh, I like how you think.
Just me sitting there with my 855 hit points. You with your ridiculous amounts of damage.
Oh, I don't have no damage. I got defense. That's all I got. But yeah, let's do
Okay.
that. I'm down.
You roll a lot of dice.
Alright. You guys going?
We'll go in the morning.
Okay.
See if we get any weird dreams.
All right. You settled down in Mistrala. The city has continued on. Telephos is back, and he's resumed
Well,
his
that's not
leadership
right.
there, along with Wenlisa, the alchemist. And you know, now that it's only the two of them in command there, they've joined joint leadership, which her handling all the administrative stuff basically, and him handling the war effort. They don't get along super well, but they've settled on a workable relationship as they pilot this magical city, this magical nation. So that's what's going on in Mistrala right now. You guys settle down for the night. nothing else really happens. Yeah, Tycho's just doing his stuff.
I mean, because he was technically the third, wasn't he? Oh no, wait, that was.
Yeah, that was Renly. Renly was the third. Tycho was just he was in the running for it, but he never made it. All right.
Still my
So you
favorite
guys get your
character.
long rest. Next morning, what do you do?
Shall we go see Vork the Dragonborn in the observation deck and get someone to transport us there? And since
Yep.
Owen is just as unfamiliar with the area as anybody else, someone else do it?
It's a pretty simple process to do that. This is a much closer location. It's actually fairly close to Mistrala, if you look at relatively close to Mistrala. I mean, it's on the other side of Osnesh. So the half elf running the observation deck says that a student that he knows is actually from that region of the nation. So he might be able to give you a better odds at teleportation. He calls the student up. A little while later in the morning, the student comes in, and after a brief conversation, pointing out Vork, who is inside a tent right now. You guys are teleported across the plain of Osnesh to outside Vork's tent. You guys arrive, and it's this pretty much just open ground, mildly rocky. There's mountains up in the distance, to the north of you. His tent is there, caught in the crook. You guys arrive, and the sound of you arriving seems to stir Vork within the tent. What do you guys do?
I want to
bro.
put Ellen to the front since he speaks dragon.
Alright, you're shoving Elwyn to the front?
But I want to, I'm going to put him in front of me since he speaks dragon, but I want to stand right behind him so I can.
Deimos, what'd you say?
It's like, Vork, wake the fuck up. I'm a chick, do what I say, or I'll nag
All
you.
right.
I'll translate. I'm almost done. Should be like 5 more minutes, but I'll translate in the meantime.
Yeah. Busting out of the you shout that Deimos, and barreling out of the front of the tent, wielding this great big scimitar. You see this large, imposing dragonborn berserker just standing in front of you. He's snarling and he's shouting. Yeah.
Large man, you wouldn't attack a helpless woman. I'm dainty and fragile.
He says, "You've chased me down, whoever you are." He looks at all 4 of you. He says, "I'll take your heads now." He says, "And whether or not you're a bitch or no means nothing to me."
What was that? Hey, Albrecht?
He swings. The scimitar is swinging straight at you, Deimos.
Deimos is going to hug him with a sick-ass fucking grapple.
You see Albrecht start to crack his knuckles.
Yeah.
He wants. I want to test out this new mode.
Dude, come in here, because I'm going to start this fucking wrestling ring.
Alright,
Let's
Deimos,
do
so
this,
you're,
Deimos.
Alright, Deimos, roll initiative.
Shall I
You
join him?
know it. Yeah, we're going first next turn.
Should I join him?
Are you casting the ring, Deimos, or no? It doesn't matter because he moves first. So
Yeah.
Vork, he as you're talking and saying that, his scimitar comes slashing across you, and you weren't really defending yourself at that moment. It actually even caught you a little bit by surprise what he was doing. So that the scimitar cuts across you, slams into your side for. Can I do it like this?
Does the
Just
scimitar
11
even
damage.
break
It's-
those rock hard obliques?
It's a glancing blow across your arm.
Ow.
You hear him roaring, just shouting in your face. He says, "I have a tent full. No." He says, "I have a crate full of bitch heads like yours that I've been gathering. I'm taking yours next." And he swings again.
Oh, I'm gonna take something. I'm gonna shove it up this guy's butthole.
I'm sitting there rubbing my hands, eyeing Deimos, waiting for him to make the cage because I'm ready to rumble.
You like Damos, like he heard what you said you can do now, and I'm just rubbing my hands too.
Okay. All right. So
Like,
he gets one more
I'm
attack
actually
in.
gonna ditch my sword. I want to go at this with all my hands. I want to wrestle this bitch.
Hell yeah, let's wrestle the fuck out of this guy.
Alright.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
bring it.
unstrapping
Bring
my
it,
sword
bitch.
from my back.
Come on. I'm totally
Alright,
not
he's
gonna use a War God's blessing to make you miss. As I catch your
He's
sword.
another 20. He does about another 12 damage to you as he slashes across you the other way. Okay,
Oh,
it's your turn now.
ow, that hurts so bad. All right, I am going to use my action, or actually, I didn't set it up, but I'm assuming probably an action.
Mhm.
As I'm assuming he's within range of me and Albrecht,
Yeah.
or whoever else is right next to me.
He's in range
As I
of you
set
right
up
now.
okay, I will use that. I'll do that, and then I'm going to set up this sick ass motherfucking ring of
Okay.
WWE as you hear this sick ass song because you can't see this shit, and I start dancing around, prancing around this ring, and at the end of my turn, I'll use my bonus action at the end of my turn to bring Albert in there because we're tag teaming this mother trucker.
Okay. So what happens is, as he slashes at you, you cast this spell. It's a 5th level spell. So the ground underneath you just rises up, just like an open plateau area. You know, like I don't know how big a ring is. What, 20 feet by 20 feet, something like that.
Probably, yeah.
Just rises up off the ground. You know, about 3 or 4 feet. It's just ripping up out of the ground. And you know, parts of the edge of it are raised also to act like the borders of the ring. That you raise up, and it's elevated above the ground. And he stops for a second. He looks. He says, "The bloody fuck is going on?" As the ground just is manipulated around him. There is a divine enchantment around it, so that only you two are allowed in the ring at this moment.
Yep.
Right.
And yeah, I'm assure him as I boop him on the nose. It's a little finger touch. I'm like, you gonna about to get it, boy. That's my turn.
Should I roll initiative?
So you're using your bonus action to allow Killjack in. Isn't that the next
in.
turn you can do that?
I think it says at the end of I can do it next turn. I don't know. I think I copied this from like a thing and online, but it was I think it's like the action to cast it, and then my bonus action I can use to allow at the end of my turn to allow someone else in. So as long as they're after my initiative, I think they can get in. But that's obviously DM discretion because it's a random spell that I just kind of stole off the internet because I thought it was funny.
It's pretty random. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Use your bonus action. So, Killjack, you have opportunity to enter the ring now.
Okay. As I do that, I'm going to
That's
step
hard
through
to
the cage. I'm going to enrage and smash my wrists together. Go
Okay.
to 15 feet tall.
Okay.
And I want to make it clear. I have left my sword on the outside of the ring. We're doing
Okay.
this true WWE style.
All right.
Oh, you see this? I'll be that chick carrying around numbers. Like I'm doing like round one. I'm carrying up on a big old card with the number 1 on top.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Here we go.
All right. All right. All right.
Hey, Bush, you better have the chairs ready.
Oh, I got chairs.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for. Well, do I get a full turn?
Well, you've entered the ring. You've smashed your things again. Let's just say that's your action. On his turn, he says, "All right then, fucking bring it out. Fuck you both, motherfuckers." And he drops his sword and he goes in and he punches you right for your crotch, Killjack, because it's like just under eye level for him right now.
Yeah. Let me change my hit points real quick, cause fuck him.
Oh.
All right. All right.
I put
He's going for.
8,500.
He's going for the nads. Now your nads are 3 times the size that they normally are. So,
Oh yeah.
So he's getting right in there with the punch. Let's call this a critical hit.
Oh,
Since it
okay.
is the nuts.
True.
So that times
That's a critical.
I'm doubling the dice for that. So
Okay.
I'll just roll 2 more dice. Okay, plus 8. So 24 to your nuts.
Ooh.
A sharp
Ooh.
pain, just kind of like you can feel it up in your thighs a little bit. And he slams there. He's, yeah, you like that, right, bitch? And he says with his second attack, he slams his other fist right into the other one.
Yeah, the nut.
I'm asking, why is he trying to touch your nuts, bro? Hey,
I'm gonna stare at Deimos like
Alright,
I don't
26.
know what the fuck is going on.
26 right into your other nut.
I'll yell at him and like, hey, bro, do you just like touching nuts or something?
Well, it's your turn, Deimos. So what are you doing?
Oh, Deimos is gonna be like, oh, I'm a poor dainty little girl. Just joking, super motherfucking Deimos mode. I'll fucking tackle this bitch.
Okay.
I'll burn
What
the
do you say?
thing, and then I'll use my extra thingy to tackle this mother trucker.
Okay.
Get wrecked, bitch.
All right. So you grab him and he just slams
Technically,
down to the
that's
ground.
land, but
Yeah, you wrap him up.
Yeah.
You wrap him up. He's straining against you, but he's nowhere near as strong as you. So
I was like, oh, please don't hurt me, because I'm a dainty little woman. And I'm
what the hell's going on here, you freak? You fucking bitch freak!
Yeah, his arms will be spread. I'm allow him to get tickled, because I'm gonna tickle this mother trucker, because that's humiliating. That's my turn.
He's like, man, bitch, you in some kinky shit. This fucking help me out. This roided freaking bitches.
Oh, don't hurt
Just getting
me.
all over me.
Oh. Wait, you can't fight off a
Deimos,
dainty little
do you have him,
tag girl?
Put him in a. You got him in a leg lock around his head because I wanna do a jump here. So
Oh, do it.
All right, what are you doing? So yeah, you got him wrapped up, Deimos. You pin him down. You basically grapple him down to the ground. He's there screaming and he's shouting. Those freaky roided bitches just like wrapping her freaky nasty legs around me and the ugliest titties I've ever seen. And all right, what are you doing, Albrecht?
So basically, what is gonna happen is I'm gonna climb up the side of the cage a little bit, get some decent height, and you see me wave my hand in front of my face and say, "You can't
You're
see
like
this."
15 feet tall.
I know exactly. And you're gonna hear something blasting from the background. Da 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 da.
Okay.
And bring my elbow straight down onto his head.
I'm gonna whisper in his ear. You can't see this, bitch.
As you come down, I mean, you crack like the ground. The ring is made out of rock, you know, because it's what the ground was made of, and it just splits the rock as you come down on. You come smashing down onto him with your elbow. You as you get up, I mean, you must weigh like 500, 600, or no, you weigh more than that. You must weigh like 2,000 pounds or something. And you smash down. And this is a pretty strong, sturdy guy. But I mean, you come off, and his whole snout and his face is just caved in.
I assume
mean,
you
just
can
like-
revive
just
him,
like-
right, Deimos?
There's blood just flowing everywhere. Just like one of his eyes is crushed. His teeth are all broken, and you see him just there like twitching inside your grapple, Deimos. Is he just like spasming?
All right, so he's twitching, right?
Hit him with a heel spell.
Yeah. He's
Should have switched roles.
He's just convulsing. He begins to shit his pants a little bit and like soak his pants too.
Motherfucker sure wore his brown pants.
Oh, he sure wore his D pants. I'll link you guys a thing for that later. But
Okay.
yeah,
His face is caved in.
I'm assuming on Deimos' turn I can heal.
Sure. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna cast heal at 6th level for 60 whatever hit points on this guy.
Okay.
But I'm still grappling the shit out of him.
Okay.
I'm like,
All right.
hey, you ready for round 2? Because you
All
can't
right,
see
all
this
right.
shit.
He snaps up for a little bit. His face is still like all kinds of like broken. It's like if someone gets a broken
Like that.
nose and it heals, it's the face is the nose is still crooked. That's what his whole face looks like.
I'll fix that
Um,
later.
He gets up. He coughs out like this dried up blood this like coagulated blood that he'd been bleeding that he just healed up. He just coughs it up. It's like spitting all over you. Just this blood is spraying everywhere. He, like, I don't shit my pants. He looks up, and he's still trying to move. He's still like, you fucking bitch, get off me!
Hey, we'll break you in half again, or you could stop fighting.
I'm just gonna look at Deimos and I'm gonna say, hold him there. And I want to look him. I want to get down on my knees. I'm going to look him straight in the eyes, and I want to say, to ask you a couple of questions, because someone told us that a guy with your name might have some information.
He looks up at you.
She'll let you go,
Also, have you heard of Tempest?
and you accept that we are champions.
He looks at you,
no.
Killjack, or Alric. He says, "Yeah, you get close. You know you like this. You like it when I touch those nuts of yours, you big hairy freaking dwarf freak, roided out bitch freak. You want these nuts,
Straight up.
don't you? You like that bitch, motherfucker."
Straight up, backhand him with my bracers. So I hit him with the spikes, and
Albrecht, what if you just like swing around, like you charge up a punch? I'll pick him up and I'll twirl him around like a freaking like rodeo clown, like in circles, and then like you can wind up your punch and smack him as I'm swinging him into your fist.
him straight in the face. If he doesn't cooperate after this, then we'll do that. But
Okay.
he's just getting a straight punch to the face after that. Does that hit him?
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Okay. There's the damage.
Okay.
Ah, damn it.
So you spike him in the face, and you feel your braces are larger because you're larger too. You basically like impale his head on some of the spikes. They go like 6 inches into his face and to his
Oh,
neck,
shit.
and he just like his head tilts sideways as your
still
bracer goes into his
convulsing,
head. Blood comes falling out. And he begins to convulse again. Deimos, right now the shit is like spraying all over you. It's breaking out of the pants.
All right.
Yeah,
fine.
it's like
Don't worry, I'll give you
it's
a bath
everywhere.
later, buddy.
I wore my
just hit him
rubber
up.
britches today. I'm gonna use another 6th level spell to heal him back up.
A little higher, give him a little bit more. Because that was a spike straight to the brain.
Well, that's 60
Yeah.
points. He'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. So now, as you pull the spikes out, you can see that the skin and the stuff is healing underneath where the spikes are. But then again, it's his head is still kind of caved in, and there's like huge gaping holes where the spikes used to be. It's just healed up inside that spot. Now his tongue is hanging half out of his mouth. He's like, "Hey, you motherfuckers, you can't fucking."
Hey, bro.
What
Hey,
can I
hey,
please
buddy.
straight?
We can fix you up. We can make you stronger. Please stop attacking random broads that just come walking across your tent. You go in jail for the rest of your life for doing that, so we'll let you off with like a warning. Because I'm just a
You
dainty
only want to
little
ask you
fragile
a few
chick.
questions about people you may know and a help for our search.
I'm starting to think
Fine.
now that Deimos is like a really terrible stripper now, and Albrecht is like the bodyguard that walks to your car.
Dude, that's totally what we are.
Except we're both terrible.
So half his tongue is hanging out of his like completely caved in and like spike holed face. He's like, ask your fucking questions, you faggots. You just like these nuts. I
Whoa.
know that.
You're the
Not
one
you,
who reached
lady.
for the nuts.
Him is a faggot.
I want to look at him. I want to say, do you know anybody named Befinzor? Or does the name mean anything to you?
He says, what the fucking Befinzor? He says, no fucking shit about no Befinzor.
Alright. Alright.
Nebularos, then. Does
Yeah,
that
we
name mean
we're
anything
buddies
to you?
with all the Dragon King dudes and or queens. And
Nebularos.
Tell us where his brother's at.
Nebularos.
Yep.
Yeah, we're like best buddies with them.
Yeah, remember the time when I was like, "Hey, we're here for like just to talk," and you start slashing at us. This is what happens, but we're good buddies with them. And you can tell how easily we raffle stomp the living shit out of you. That
Why
we're
don't you
probably good friends.
motherfuckers? Why didn't you motherfuckers lead with that? That's it. For my faith
was
is
just
all
like this.
fucked up.
try out this
Yo,
because we
Yeah.
fucking bitches.
because
I was
we
like,
both wanted to try out this spell. To be honest,
why did you start out with attacking a mean woman such as myself? Look at me, I'm fragile, I'm easily breakable.
like I have.
Goddamn,
I,
you're a woman. That's a fucking idiot. Most hideous titties I've ever seen.
Trust me, feel them. All muscle.
but
You're not enough gold in the world to make me want to do that.
Come on, I'm gonna shove one in his face.
I want to tell Deimos to be silent. And I'm going to say to him, Nebularos told us to find somebody with your name to help search for his brother Bafinzor. Any reason he might have told us to seek out you?
Nebularos is a creature from dragon legend. I don't know Nebularos. I know of him. It's just my mother used to tell me stories when I was young. But I've always liked the stories. When at nighttime out here, the stars are clear in the sky, and I can see the stars, and I remember the stories, and some part of me knows it's true. Deep down inside me, I think it's true. Maybe a little bit. But I don't know no fucking Nebularos. All I know is I'm Volk, bounty hunter, grave robber, thief extraordinaire, and I'm in the motherfucking greatest find of my life about to find there, and you bitches are trying to steal it from me. You think?
No,
That's why I
don't
fucking
want
tax you because
Now,
I
what
open
are we?
up
What
my-
do you think we're trying to steal from you?
Yeah.
the treasure. I fucking finally found it. I found it, man.
Which treasure?
Not the treasure. I know where it is, though. Yes. Dragonkind. We've had rumors of it for fucking hundreds, maybe thousands of years. Finding the place. The place is motherfucker. Dolric, his name was. Dolric the Dragon Mancer. I finally fucking found it. I found his resting place. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna go in there and get all the riches. And I'm gonna use that riches and buy all the bitches. And the bitches not like you, though. You fucking hideous.
Whoa, bro. You don't buy
Okay,
bitches.
Deimos.
Deimos is twitching. My eyes are twitching a little bit. No big deal.
Deimos, you can let him go now. This, I know why Nebularis told us to find this guy.
Oh, what? He said he's gonna buy what? Because he's a male? You think he can buy females?
You were literally teasing Gromosh a few weeks ago. Be quiet.
Oh, yeah, it was then, but this is now.
Deimos, get up.
Oh,
Get off.
sorry, man. Oh, I'll listen to you, man. No big deal. Okay. Deimos is gonna stand up. He's like, stick his hands in there. All right, sorry, big strong man. I'll do whatever you
right.
say because you're a man. And
That's
you're
right.
in charge,
No,
right?
You be
In your
quiet
dreams,
as well.
bitch. You
I
wish you had
wanna-
this.
I will smack
You wish
you.
you could have this. You wish you could have some Volk. But you ain't getting no Volk.
I'm d-
There ain't enough gold in the world for you to have Volk.
Really?
I'm
I
going to
open
throw
up-
my hands up in the air at this point and let Deimos have his way with him.
Oh,
Say,
oh,
make
oh.
sure.
I'm not
Ivan,
gonna
when you're
hurt him.
done.
I'm just grappling him. I'm gonna take all of his clothes off, and I'm tickling him. I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna pull him down,
Deimos.
take his clothes off, and tickle the shit
Deimos,
out of him.
as you pin him, I say to you, just make sure you can revive him when we're done, and then I'm going to go off.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Kildrak. I'm not Kildrak. Albric. You're
Albric.
awesome. Albric, fantastic, and you look amazing as a giant. But yeah, I'm gonna go to town and just humiliating the shit out of this guy.
Alright, well, he's not strong enough to stop you, so. You actually get him to laugh a little bit with the tickles. You did roll a natural one in there, though, so he does.
Oh, that's fine.
He does
That's
manage.
my feint.
He's-
That's my feint.
he slaps you in the face a few times.
Yeah, that's not gonna end well for you.
So while Deimos is doing that, I'm going to go over to Euphemia and Elwyn and tell them everything I just heard about the treasure of the Dragon Mancer, and how this guy can find it, and that's probably the best place to search for clues about Bafinzor.
Mhm.
and that we can probably convince him to take us there if we say he gets all the treasure.
We're just gonna tell him he gets all the treasure, right? But we're gonna keep it.
We'll keep some of it.
Okay.
Anything
I mean-
like if it's anything like a true dragon treasure, I don't think we need that much because we still have that 25,000 platinum from Whitebeard.
Magic items.
While you guys are talking, you hear off in the distance, "Help! Help! This bitch is into come some kinky shit."
You gonna learn today. Squeal, Biggie, squeal.
Help!
I'm gonna
Help!
let it go for about before I'll finally go say I think he's learned his lesson, Deimos. But
All right.
just make sure you can revive him.
Before that,
Otherwise,
if you- I'm gonna enlarge Deimos.
God no, you hear him. God no, the tits are huge. They're huge. They're bigger than my fucking head.
I'm just gonna start slapping the shit out of him with my titties. Like I pin him down. I'm just like whack, whack, whack in his face. Like this is like the motorboat you don't want.
Yeah, the bones were already like half broken before. It is like you definitely feel some bones breaking in his head. That's what's happening.
I mean, I'm also healed while I'm doing this. I don't want him to actually be messed up, but Deimos still cares.
We don't give him a concussion or anything. We still need him to tell us.
remember everything. Yeah,
I tell him like this. I'm like, hey, dude,
a spike straight to the brain. So that might be a.
why are you trying to fight against us? Can you at least apologize for trying to slash at me? I said, hey, I'm a dainty woman. Don't attack me. And you just started swinging at me?
I'm a dainty woman trying to feel me up. I feel it's taking off my clothes, wrapping your body all around me. You want pork. That's what I know.
Fine. All right. You know what Deimos wants? Which arm do you like the most? I'll leave you
Oh my
with
God.
that one.
Oh my
I'll tell
god.
him. Hey,
I'm
hey,
taking
hey.
the other one off.
I'll tell
my
you
God.
what. You tell us where that tomb is, and I'll get her off of you.
Hey, I also
Yes,
want
sir.
his left foot and his favorite arm. Well,
Hold
second
on.
favorite.
If he tells me where, you let him keep his left foot and his favorite arm.
I knew it.
And,
Yo, a bunch of
and if
thieves.
he leads us there. And if he leads us there. Because we'll let you keep all the treasure. We just want information.
Wait, what? You let me keep all the
We're just
treasure?
looking for...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless there's something real cool.
Some
I'll tell
magic
you what.
items.
You keep all the money and all the jewels.
You
How about this?
gonna help me get into the place?
Yeah.
There's some
for
big fucking things guarding the doorway, and I've never been inside.
Oh, we need to understand. A big thing for you is not much for a strong, independent woman like me.
Yeah, but there's two of them, and there's bigger than that guy. He points over to you, Albrecht.
Oh, bigger than that guy?
Yeah, bigger than that guy, and bigger than them titties. Although the titties are more scary.
Oh, shit. We might be out of match then if they're bigger than these titties and you.
Oh boy, yeah, you got a point there, Deimos. But
All right, let's just quit.
Deimos, I just gotta say this real quick. You are literally the definition of a strong, independent woman.
Thank you. And I appreciate it. Kildrak, I'm one of these days I'm gonna get it right. All right, Albrecht.
I
You
hope you do.
are the
Like
definition
seriously.
of just like the future male, the one who cares.
Thank you. Oh, I that is the best compliment Albert has received in his entire life, right there.
You two bitches should go get a room and leave Volk alone.
I will take that tooth and I'm gonna put it in one of your ears because I feel like it, and you're a bitch, and I can easily do that. I could take
You
your
know,
arm right there.
the more you
I could
insult
shove it up
her,
your
the
own
less,
ass.
the less she'll heal you up, because she's also the healer of our group.
I'm the healer, and I fucking suck at healing.
So you want to be nice to her.
How many
All right.
fingers do you want? I'm gonna give you 3 fingers out of both.
I
your
don't swing
hands.
that way.
Pick your-
Nothing goes into Volk. Volk goes into others. You gotta get me right here.
Is that what you think?
That's right.
I just-
Okay, Deimos, just give him like
Mm,
100 hit points and call it good.
You keep those fingers away from Volk.
All right, I'm gonna give him 100 hit points, That's when I smack the shit out of him 100 fucking times. Minimal damage. I'm gonna smack his ass a shit ton, and it's gonna be sore for at least a day and a half.
I'm mainly concerned about his face because, broken nose a guy can deal with.
I'll fix his face.
Concave
Yeah.
skull and puncture wounds, not so
Yeah,
much. That's a bad deal.
I'll fix his face up, and I'll be like, hey, you can at least tell the ladies that you're a tough guy, and they might like that scars.
Yeah, leave him with a cool scar.
But I'm gonna carve, not carve, but I'm gonna like burn with my fist thingy a little thing on his left ass cheek, and I'm like, but if you ever talk bad about a woman again, this thing might activate, and your butthole might get destroyed.
What'd you leave there? What'd you leave there?
Oh, I left
says-
a symbol,
Hello.
a symbol of ramming your butthole.
Remedy.
Hey. His hands go up in the air. He goes, hey. I'll give, all right? I'll give. All right. You break my face, you break my head all you want, but you don't touch there. All right, I'll give.
I ain't touching there. That's if you do the
Yeah,
bad stuff. You touch yourself
give.
there, and that makes you
Don't
real
worry.
gay.
I'll
Which,
give.
Again, it's 2018, and I don't care. But that means you just railed yourself in the butthole.
That's like, what do you want to know? You let me keep the gold, I'll show you the place. I'll show you everything I found about the place. I took it off one of these Goliath camps a couple weeks ago. I had a contract for some rich noble down south. He told me, get as many Goliath scalps as you can. They keep, raiding his villages and shit and whatnot. So I come up here raiding some Goliaths, taking their scalps here, see? And he goes into he pulls out a crate from his inside his tent. It's a small box full of maybe a couple dozen Goliath scalps. I go in there, I take them scalps off them. Well, I was in this Goliath town, once not town, more like this little village way up in the fucking mountains up there. See, there's little tiny mountains up there, there's little titties. Not like little titties. There's you got big titties.
What'd you say?
I call them mountains titties. They look like titties.
Hey,
Don't,
I want to
don't
make
the
sure
mountains
you
look like
know
titties to you? Hey,
of
I'm
what
sorry, alright? I
this
said, please don't touch my
symbol
butthole.
means.
Please don't
No,
touch my
it's not
butthole.
that. I already said it there, and if you say something bad about the woman, it's just gonna rail your butthole.
No, I was
I just
talking
don't
about
want
the
to
fucking
see
mountains.
you die because of butthole penetration.
The mountains, they
Yeah,
look
but
like fucking titties. Look at the mountains over there.
Amos, they
I call them
literally
titties.
do name mountains after titties in real life. There's the Teton Mountains. It's French for
No.
tits.
I know, but Deimos is a feminist now, and Deimos. I'm like, I understand that you're just a weak male who just has to name stuff after boobs because you can't get none yourself, but I wouldn't do that again. I'm holding back. I'm holding this little symbol back, and your butthole is gonna be bleeding. I hope you have really good health insurance, but I know you don't because you'll just
All right.
fucking explode from this.
Hey, when you're right, and you're right.
Yep.
And I apologize. Please don't touch my butthole.
Oh,
Anyway,
I'm not touching
like
it.
I was saying.
Yeah.
I was raiding this fucking Goliath village way up in the mountains, and I come across this little box. This little box, they got it from some kind of place somewhere. I don't know where it was, but I opened it up and I knew instantly. And he pulls out this parchment. Inside was this. He pulled out this parchment, and across the top of it, you see just in very, very old, faded. It's not really parchment. It's more like an old leather scroll, animal skin scroll. It's right here. That there is the image of Dolric. My grandma used to tell me about it. Dolric the dragon monster. He used to hunt down dragons for a living thousands of years ago. He'd kill them all. He was off for subduing them, enslaving them. My grandma used to tell me about this shit, and she used to tell me if I was a little dragon-born little bad boy, Dolric would come up and he'd scare me and take me away and take my head off and take all those sorts of crazy things with me, so I'd listened. Anyway, this is Dolric here's symbol, and there's lots of words underneath it. Anyway, I don't take those Goliaths, and I done pump them for information as I was taking them scalps, and they told me where they found it. Huh, I'm going to be rich. Huh, I'm going to find it. Huh, Me, Vork. Yeah, who knew it? Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him very nicely if I can see that piece of parchment, or if Elwin can look
Yeah,
at it to
fine.
see if he can.
There's some words
Read
on
it.
it too. Don't know quite know what they say, but I know that image for anything. Dolric. All right, he hands
Can you
the
spell that
parchment.
out in chat, please? And he said it was a Dragomancer. The Dragomancer. Okay.
Dragonmancer. Oh, there's no C. Just Dolric.
Okay. Anyways, Elwin, can you make anything of this?
I'll take a look at it.
All right. You take the parchment, and and you can read Draconic, right? You know Draconic.
Yep.
Well, it's a very old Draconic. It's scribbled, and it's written in the hand of someone who is obviously familiar with. It looks like the handiwork of a scribe. It's not some scribble. It's very graceful penmanship, if I want to say that. But it's all faded and old. And reading it a little bit, go ahead and make me a we'll call this investigation check.
Hold on. I will use a lucky point. Come on. Oh, that's history.
Good.
I roll again. Investigation.
Can we take the history check?
All right. So you're able only to make out some of it. It's very faded, very tattered. But the bits of pieces that you are able to gather look like a broken poem. And it takes you a little while. You're talking. You're studying this for like an hour. And so Vork is sitting down. You guys are sitting by his campfire. And he just won't stop talking. He keeps talking about things he's killed, things he's boned, and all this stuff. He's just kind of, his mouth doesn't stop.
You've only killed small things, and you've only bunged ugly broads. Shut the fuck up. You killed a Trask.
Damus.
It's fine. It's fine. You know what an ugly broad was after all. I'm not denying you that knowledge, because you know that shit up and down, like inside and fucking out, what an ugly broad is. So, I'm shutting up.
This character is almost better than Tycho. Almost.
Alright, so Elwin, after your intense investigation of it, you're able to make out the following text. The first line, there's 5 lines to the poem. The first line says, "The chimera looks to the sunrise." Second line says, "The cyclops looks to the sunset." Third line, "The Medusa looks to the sunrise. The Umber Hulk looks to the sunset. The Basilisk looks to the sunrise." And atop all of this, at the top of the page, is the image, the emblem of Dolric, the Dragonmancer.
I'm very dizzy after reading that poem. I assume you're pulling up an image of the image?
No, not at all.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
Let's see. I know Umber Hulks are Underdark creatures. Chimera. That's their giant. Basilisk is considered draconic, right?
Possibly.
Umber Hulks are
Yeah,
essentially
kind of.
giant bugs, if I remember correctly.
I'm trying to find similarities or which one stands out as different than the rest. I'll tell them what I read. So like the rest of the group, if you guys can help me out.
But the fact that basilisks are draconic.
I don't know what all this shit means, but just, I can't read it. But like I said, I know where they got it from. If you give me the treasures, like you said, the gold and the money and all that shit, he says, I'll take you there. And you guys kill the big things, kind of like fucking up the doorway and shit.
Okay, let's do it.
Basilisks are. These are not draconic. Yeah, let's. You said it was pretty late at night. Let's go in the morning.
Yes. All right. Yeah, I could use me a good rest.
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
I want to ask him if he can describe the large things. Like, do they look like any sort of creature he recognizes?
Biggest fucking snakes I've ever seen. 2 of them. One's all like ghost-like, the other one's all like bony-like. I went over there, found this place, I saw them things, I said, no fucking way, not Volk. And I've been trying to figure out a way to get in there ever since on my own.
Okay. Well, long rest it is.
Okay. You guys kind of settle down for the night. Vork this is his campsite, so he's already got a campfire, and the place has been kind of scoped out. So it's actually a pretty secure location. You guys kind of bunk out for the night in your little sleeping bags and cots and that kind of stuff. Vork is inside his tent. He says, I'm sleeping in my tent. Just me. Myself and I. No one else. Vork's privacy is important to him at night. Okay.
Shall we pick
All
this
right.
up next week then?
Yeah, if you guys are up for it. You guys, the next morning you begin to travel, and let's see here. So on the map, you guys are here, and it's a decent hike. Hike basically over in this direction, over here into Rapnesh, deep into that countryside, deep into like the same mountain range that you're in. So you guys are traveling westward through the mountains, and it's nasty travel. It's like cold at times, and there's no clear-cut paths, so it's not easy travel. You guys are traveling for several days straight, 5 or 6 days, over the course of things. But after when it all is said and done, Vork finally shows it to you. It's built into like the edge of a mountain, the side of a mountain. There's an obvious, or not obvious, but like a large crag in the mountain. He points and he says, "That's where she is. He built into the side of a fucking mountain. He did. Yep, that's what he did. That's the realm. That's not the realm. That's the tomb of Doric Dragonmancer. Went back there and died. He did. Set up all kinds of magics around this place and guarded it. He knew he had some valuable shit in there. So, yeah, I come here, tried to steal from it, but those big things, they don't scare me away. So I'm glad you're all here to come get it, because I'm telling you, those titties, they might scare away even those snakes." Okay, and you guys can see definitely coiled at the base of this crag in the mountain are 2 very large snake-like creatures. One of them looking like this. The other looking like this.
Ugh.
Okay? Alright. So next week we'll pick up here, and I'm excited because I've got a whole dungeon planned, and I've got it's an isometric map dungeon, and we're going to use these tokens.
It's awesome.
So it's going to be pretty cool.
Actually, that sounds really sweet.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet map. Alright, guys.
Well, thanks for
if you have any
running.
more questions on your level 20 characters or any more changes on your spells or anything, go ahead and text them to me or shoot them to me. Like I said, I don't really care about balance at this point. You guys are close to being some of the most powerful creatures, powerful individuals on the continent or in this world right now. So we want you to be pretty amped up.
Nice.
But I'll work with you on whatever you're trying to do. Okay?
All right.
But be
I'll
creative.
send you
Feel free to be creative.
messages at some point. I got a couple funny ideas.
Cool.
Sweet.
Nothing too crazy.
All right. Thank you, guys. I'll catch you next week.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it.
See you next week.
All right.